going live. Cue music. Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Lutz, and I'm here on the front lines. I wondered whether I should put up that warning about the negative people just before, because today's topic is pretty negative. I've been trying to stay on the positive side of things for the last week or so because of the amount of positive energy floating into the planet, or from the planet, both ways. And really focusing on the good things that are happening. But in this discussion, we said that there are some back and forth, and this is one of the back moments. This rioting in Seattle has been planned for a long time. They had a lot interwoven, and to wake up to what the vast conspiracy that there has been perpetrated upon the population, it's to many unfathomable as to how deep this swamp is, how widespread that they have engulfed the world into a particular narrative, a movie dialogue, something that they could keep pitching at you and you'll just go along with it. What I'm about to show you is highly disturbing and really their next step. And why they're taking this next step, we'll get into after we go through this. So I'm going to cue this up for you right now. Give me a moment here. So this is from someone in the Chaz area right now, and we're going to basically see a report that's basically, in essence, snuck out. I'll make sure that this is showing properly. No, why is it not showing properly? Oh, 1 second. I'll get this down sooner or later. Okay, here we go. So this emergency broadcast from Seattle, Jason James Britt. Now this is on Ron Valiant's YouTube. Please subscribe; it's worth it for him putting this up. So here we go.
Friends, this is very urgent. I have a friend of mine who I've had on Facebook for 3 years. He lives in Seattle, Washington. He is one person that is stuck with 8,000 American citizens in a 6-block-long, densely populated area. And he says, after I put this on air, he has to delete his Facebook because of Antifa or any of them. And they're going house to house now, kicking in doors and harassing people. He says, after I make this statement to tell the world what is going on in the concentration camp that is now set up on American soil by Antifa and Black Lives Matter, he said he has to delete his Facebook and get it out and actually destroy his phone, because if they find out that he's in contact with people outside, they kill him or beat him up. Now, he has witnessed, he said Antifa, these sissy liberals, cross-dressing sissy liberals with Black Lives Matter, thugs by their side, are going door to door, kicking the door in. They're not knocking, they're kicking the door in while people are in their homes. They're telling people to pay them reparations, to give them money. They're looting their houses while the people watch and the kids scream, and there's nothing they can do. Today alone, 4,000 calls to the police department came, and the police can't do nothing about it because the liberal mayor won't let them. Meanwhile, men and women and children are being sodomized and raped by these liberal sissies. This is all very real, and it's going on today in an American city that has been overtaken by terrorists. My friend, today, we cannot wait for the government to act. We cannot wait for the federal government to act. We must stop this. This is good, and if they can get by with you one city, they're going to do it again. My friend said that he witnessed looking out his apartment, his small apartment, he looks down, and he sees rows of men. Some are dressed as women, queens, with Black Lives Matter, black men, coming up to people's houses, and if you resist, and they'll beat the crap out of you. Many people are bleeding today in their houses. Many people have lost everything in their houses. They're made to pay reparations and money. What little they have is gone. And your pride is next. My friend said he witnessed, he heard a man scream. He was with his wife and children, and the man told him to get out. They overpowered him, and they raped him in front of his wife and children. That's what's going on in America. He said he heard the black guy saying, "We're going to you what you have done to us for years." This is Antifa. This is the real Black Lives Matter. Woe unto you churches and you businesses today, donating money to Black Lives Matter. That really don't. They could care less about any other black person but themselves. They are wreaking havoc and injustice in America. We have a Nazi concentration camp going on in the United States right now, and we need to do something about it. Trump needs to send in the federal troops and just open fire, because these aren't Americans anymore. When you take over our land, you take over our cities, our people, you throw the government out and the police out, you are no longer an American, and you have no rights, and your life really does not matter anymore in my eyes. We need to go in there and send troops and start sniper firing everybody. Get them out of there. We have 8,000 to 9,000 people trapped in a city. Stuff that only movies are made of. Trapped in New York City, it's actually an alive event today. Things are getting worse. And the more this goes on, the more these little freaks think it'll be all right to do it in Jacksonville, or in Cleveland, or in Texas. And they're getting ready to do it. You know, they're trying to hit small town USA. President Trump withstood an overthrow of the government by the Democrat liberals, all right? And a collusion by the Democratic liberals. It has been made comments for the last 3 years that the Democrats want power by any means. And they're getting it. This is a Democratic-run riot, with liberals running around cross-dressing men and women, and Black Lives Matter, who have always wanted to get a little payback. Now they have a city in the grips of their hands, and police are on every street corner but can't go in. And the Democratic and liberal mayor says, they're just having a festival. They may be having a festival, but the people stuck in their homes are being tortured and abused. And we won't know the full implications until it's all over and people start coming out and telling, I was raped, I was robbed, I was beat up, my daughter was killed. Things are going on in that city, and we need to know what's going on, and we need to just send the troops in there and mow them over. I don't care if we have another Waco. If that would have been a Christian compound, the government would have no problem with blowing it up, or any other for that matter. We are in a crisis in America. It's getting out of hand, and it's got to stop. My fellow Americans and patriots, do not wait for these thugs and liberals to come down your neighborhood. You need to go to them. Shalom, everybody. It's getting very dangerous out there. America, we've been invaded. We've been actually taken over by hostile forces. Never in my life would I ever thought that. Had China did it, Russia did it, Cuba did it, and to open into war. Even if Islamic radicals had come in here and did that, it would be open war. But yet we got liberal thugs out there now under the guise of Black Lives Matter, hurting people, taking over a city. And it's just one city at a time. This is how it started. Meet them, fight them. I'm serious, this is getting bad. Just because you're at home right now and you feel peace and you can watch the TV and you're not hearing the winds of war, The wings of war are there, and you can't see the smoke, you can smell it. It's getting closer and closer, and by the time we wake up and do something about it, it is going to be too late. This country is already divided, has been divided. Any sympathy that the Black Lives Matter or even the Black cause have won in the last 60 years went right out the window, because this is not what Martin Luther King or anybody was truly about. Seriously. As far as Martin Luther King, don't get me started on him. He was communist, so I don't care. Shalom, everybody. Bye.
Okay. Well, that's his report. You know, that is, you know, really devastating to know that this is going on right now. Let me make sure that this is all showing properly. 1 second. Okay. So what does this do? Why are they doing this? Do you think that this was just a random effect, or that this is just, you know, because they've taken over and they're thugs, that they're just going to do all sorts of mayhem? Or was it actually part of their plan to do this? Why would they do this? You know, they've been, you know, demasculating the men, sissifying the men, right? That's part of their problem, is that they've been, you know, they've been working against the American male for quite a long time. Not just America, but worldwide. You know, fluoride, you know, all the artificial sweeteners, all the poisonings they do, estrogen being pumped into the people, men and women, but the men especially. What does that effect have on testosterone production? They don't want you to fight. And what if they're trying to do with this type of action? It's totally disgusting, but it's trying to, again, demasculate the males. Doing that in front of your children to a man, it's not forgivable. It's not. You know, however good-hearted you want to be, this is not something that's forgivable. You know, this is something to cause the men to lose their masculinity. And they're going to do this in mass. It's totally disgusting. And it's continuing to happen, right? So he's calling on Trump to send in the troops, right? Send in the National Guard, do something, because the mayor of the city there is not doing anything. But I say it's the people in Seattle that need to rise up. They're the ones that need to get up and march through Chaz and throw them off. They need to be taken out. The people need to basically stop them. Because if you just keep sitting in your house, as he said, and just watching it on TV and think it's not going to happen as they come through your door, he said they're not knocking. They're not knocking at all. They're busting down the door. And they say, as they are the authority now, there is no cops, right? Defund the police. They are the authority. There is no mayor of that affects them from Seattle, right? Mayor doesn't. The mayor's just saying, leave them alone. Why would a mayor do that? Oh, it's just a street festival? No. This has been planned. This is the intricacies of this. I was just speaking with Tank just before coming on board to see what steps we should basically muster to take steps. Really, because this is something that has to stop. Right? It really does. He happened to mention a series that he actually was doing a piece on, and I know, and I'm not gonna say what it is, but well, I think it's so. It's a Handmaid's Tale or something like that. But it's really talking about a time where they are a same kind of scenario, Mad Max type scenario, right? And that there's a certain theme that they're pushing out there in this type of in this kind of broadcast, this kind of movies and series that they put on TV, right? It's really to pre-program everyone, get everyone's Overton window opened up to that possibility for that reality to come in, right? They are, if this wasn't already done, then there would be no grounds for a mayor to say, oh, it's just a street fair. People say, what are you talking about? Get in there and stop it. Get the police to go in there. They just took over cities in there. Now they're basically complete lawlessness and taking over and using terrorism against other people in that area. You know, this is something that is been set up by this structure of this deep state, right? It's very deep. It covers a lot of facets. So that's why we have to be very aware of what's been going on, right? Let me show you a couple more things. I really just want to point out that he has placed on here his Facebook account. This is for Jason. It's not for the guy giving that was reported to him, right? But this is his Facebook, and the information is down below here, so you can take a look at and basically push that out there. So this is it'd be good to find out. It looks like this was done on Facebook, and it was now captured and put out here. So here's the virality of social media and making something go viral. So let's make this go viral. I'm definitely going to be pushing this out onto Parler as well. But this is his Facebook. I've already sent him a message saying, you know, if he wants to get support, you know, to contact me, and we'll see, you know, how we can start managing things. So this is just another report about this area and how people are scared inside here.
Response times to 911 calls have ballooned to 3 times as long since police vacated the area. One person going as far as to say this.
We've been shell-shocked by the police, and now this, and these people are evil at night. They're horrible. I go almost to a homeless shelter right now, just to be away from the violence.
My heart breaks when I see that, Kennedy. They deserve to take back. Well, wait, it is their house. This is like negotiating with terrorists. It's like, give me back.
Right. So again, this is a woman that's leaving
Response times to
leaving her house for a homeless shelter to get out of that area because that's how bad it is becoming. It's not a street fair, right? Tucker Carlson has labeled it from the very beginning and said they've made their own country and they are at war with the citizens of America that are in it. Right? They are going to want you to go along with their ideology, and if not, they will abuse you and kill you or rape you. This is really something that needs to be taken on and taken on quickly. So there's so much good that is happening in the world, but we've been dealing with a lot of stuff, you know, along the way. Let's you know, do something. Is it the militia that needs to be called up? I mean, the people have the right to be a militia and go in there. We do. The sheriffs have the right to uphold the Constitution. We're seeing more and more sheriffs step up. I've got one on that. Let me go over to Parler and we'll talk about that. Oh, this is Dan Bongino's. Let's not go there quite yet. What I'm doing is I've been parlaying my messages that I find on YouTube, and I've been putting them over here on Parler for discussions. But let me go down to this one. Oh, it's not here. I didn't post it yet. Oops. Oh, it is here. I just was too It was at the top. So this is basically a sheriff, St. Landry Parish in Louisiana.
Okay, I'm going to parlay this
Excuse me.
to my Parler account. It's from Machiavelli, The Rise of the Rod, June 20th. He says, this is exactly what terrorist punks, Antifa, and BLM need to hear before even thinking about rioting, looting, burning down buildings, and attacking police officers. Soros money isn't worth it, losers. Okay, it's from Destiny Cleo, RN, BSN.
Think men like these are afraid of an uneducated, 125-pound punk like you that's never won a fair fight in your life and holds your gun sideways? Young man, I'll meet you on solid ground anytime, anywhere, light or heavy. Makes no difference to me. You won't walk away. Look at you. Men like us, son, we do dumbbell presses with weights bigger than you. And the convicts in jail, most of those men are good people who just found themselves crossed with the law. They're not evil, and they don't respect you or any folks like you. They'll toss you around like a rag doll. I encourage every citizen watching this to look into your own heart and find the American courage that conquers all evil. I implore you to listen to this message and stand up. Take back your streets. Take back your country. Come forward with information about these heathens that have terrorized your community. And for those who would use this message as a way to create false racial division in our country, take a close look behind me. Standing next to every cop is a leader of our black community. This is not about race. It's about right versus wrong. One last message to the Gremlins. You don't like the things I've told you tonight? I got one thing to say. I'm easy to find. On behalf of the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office, the Louisiana State Police, the U.S. Marshals, and every cop and law-abiding citizen from sea to shining sea, I'm Captain Clay Higgins, asking every patriot to stand up, share this video, and send a clear message to the world. We're Americans. We'd rather die on our feet than live on our knees.
Excellent.
I'm going to put this on my Parler account. The link is down below. Please join on Parler and help move content that's very important from here, from Twitter over to Parler, as well as anything on YouTube.
Yeah. So again, I'm trying to move things that I find over on Twitter onto Parler, right? Because at some point we're going to lose what Twitter has there, and it's probably going to be sometime in October. You know, October surprises or what's likes to come out back in October. So we'll see. But we've got to be over there. So again, over here on Parler, I've got 374 followers so far. It's climbing. I am following the people that are being suggested to me to follow. My system is probably running slow because I got too much going on, so it's not clicking. But that's all right. But you get the picture. So start following. I want to point out, I've been talking about Dan Bongino. He was at 200,000 followers when I joined. This was only like, I don't know, 10 days ago. Now he's at 317,000 followers. I think 2 days ago I said he was just at under, it was, I think, 298,000. So he's gained like 20,000 followers in just a couple of days. He also now has a financial interest. That's why we're going to see a lot coming over here, like Mark Levin. You know, we're going to see a lot more stuff of the conservatives popping up over here, abandoning Twitter. And that's what one of these tweets are down here, or I'm sorry, parlays, is what they're called over here, parlays, talking about this one right here. Is like the free market alternative. Instead of waiting for government to stop the censorship, free market solution. But we didn't know who to back. Where do we go without worrying about who's behind it, right? I believe Dan Bongino. I hear him. I hear his reports on a daily basis. I can feel. I know who he is. right? He's standing up for truth, justice, and the American way. He's a real superhero. He's a Superman, right? And I want to follow him here. I want to build my social site here, right? And make sure that that I put up everything that I think is going to be helpful to everyone else. And how you build here is you want to bring your content, you want to follow people, and you basically want to make sure that you are commenting on other posts. You want to basically contribute to the people you're following. So I've posted these things that I'm talking about retweeting, by parlaying them, or parlayed. I parlayed this from Twitter, right? And so this is why I think it's a good way of going. Now I'm recording this and putting it on my YouTube channel, so you'll see it on my YouTube channel, all right? Which is my name, Dan Lutz. It's youtube.com/C for channel, C/Dan Lutz, capital D and capital L. All right. So let's go on. Let's see. I think that there was something else I wanted to show here. Okay. The other thing I wanted to cover here, I'm going to show. This is all about masks and how unhealthy they are, right? And this is basically a letter from Costco, right? So to help protect our employees and members, effective May 4th, 2020, Costco members and guests must wear a face covering that covers their mouth and nose at all times while at Costco. The requirement does not apply to individuals who are unable to wear a face covering due to medical condition. That being said, I think this is a good way to go in case you don't want to really be challenged. Tactical Cruiser 2G's airsoft mask. I think you'll have no problem breathing through this, even though I don't want to wear a mask. But if I have to wear a mask, I think this one works pretty well. It allows you to breathe. And with that being said, let's see. No, that's not what. So basically, it was really about this website. This is really it seems to be putting out a lot of good information about wearing masks and on how unhealthy it is. So the healthyamerican.org. So that may be something you may want to check into. Okay. So that's it for today, right? I don't want to cover anything else. These are some of the other things that were lined up until this situation with what's happening in Seattle came up, and then I stopped everything else. Really, because this is something that has to be stopped. This is not just some program on TV. This isn't something that is, and even on TV, they're kind of downplaying that it's only a street fair, right? If you listen to the regular news, there's horrible things that are happening, and it has to stop. These are just thugs. These are paid protesters, right? Remember we showed you the ones that stopped because they weren't being funded anymore. Well, why is that? Well, maybe the money flow has been interrupted, and this is why it's got short legs. Well, let's clip off them at the knees then at this point. Let's move in. Let's take the city back. Really. You know, we've got sheriffs, right? You want to go in with some people? We've got people that are trained, former vets. They can go in. They can take over. If there's people with armed weapons, there's ways of taking them out that doesn't involve shooting them. Something needs to get done. We need to get in there and take the city back and stop what they're doing. And that's all I've got to say about it for today. Again, I thank everyone for showing up, and I appreciate all of everyone that's joining me on Parler. Everyone get there, start. We got to push, got to put up our content over there, and I'm growing pretty well over there. So let's keep it going. Thanks a lot, and see you tomorrow.